Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savage Goose Show, where we talk about all the things going on in the Savage Worlds community from the past week, and then we just kind of have a little extra topic. And today is going to be a very light, casual live stream. Just going to talk about some things for the holiday season, talk about Christmas, talk about all the other holidays that everyone else is celebrating and whatever you're celebrating. And we're going to talk about just some, what kind of things we're hoping to see, or maybe we're going to buy other people this year to get them into Savage Worlds or other tabletop role playing games. So we're just gonna go through some of my things, my list, and I want to hear what's kind of things you have in your list and that you're hoping to see this year. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our stream. Talk about some news. Um, First piece of news: the Black Friday sale. That's like a VTT sale through Pinnacle. That is still going on, I believe, until Thursday, December 5th. That is for just all the VTT stuff that is on Pinnacle's website for DIY, Foundry stuff as well. So if you're looking for anything for your VTTs for running Savage Worlds, 4% off sale until Thursday. Great time to get that stuff. There's also a sale up to 50% off a bunch of rule sets, supplements, adventures, etc. from Pinnacle, Savage Worlds, Deadlands, all that stuff over on Fantasy Grounds. So if you're interested in getting any of that kind of stuff for Fantasy Grounds, that's going until December 4th. So it's till tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. If you're interested in getting any stuff for Fantasy Grounds, if you use that VTT, that stuff's available at a discount as well. So yeah, go check that out. Kickstarters. We have the Europa Kickstarter that ends on December 5th. There's actually going to be a actual play tonight at 8:30. So if you're interested in hearing some Savage Rift's actual play, that's going to be over on Pinnacle's Twitch stream. Is the most popular place to watch it. I think they are going to be streaming it to like Facebook and YouTube as well. But most people I find tend to go watch it over at Twitch. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. That is again tonight at 8:30 Eastern time. So in about half an hour, if you're interested in seeing some Savage Rifts Europa actual play. And that Kickstarter for the Europa book ends this Thursday. Coming based on my dates, based on the things I saw on BackerKit, coming Tuesday, February 4th, is the Monster Truckers Long Haul into the Worst Lands, which is from Tabletop Games, the makers of Street Wolves. If you're interested in that Kickstarter, there is a BackerKit link to kind of get notified of the Kickstarter down the description below. So if you're interested in that, check that out as well. Also coming next year is the Secret World North America. This is another book for the Secret World tabletop role-playing game for both 5e and Savage Worlds. There was a core world version done before. I have that, so it's still up here on my shelf. I haven't moved it. So if you're interested in that, there's again a link down to the Kickstarter below. Get notified when this Kickstarter goes live. For I think the one I linked down below should be for the Savage Worlds version. So check that out. I don't know if they're going to do one Kickstarter for both or just two separate Kickstarters, but both are down there. Vermilium, The Sick and the Dead. This is also coming next year as an adventure for Vermilium. My wife and I have just started. We only done one session so far. Maybe we'll try to schedule some time to do that more so this month. But trying to do a couples play with the Mythic Game Emulator, where we are playing in Vermilium. And I actually just got this yesterday. The Blood Hunt, sorry, Vermilion Blood Hunt adventure in a physical copy. Just a small adventure, but it's nice and printed and looks great. So happy to have that. And hopefully we'll get that ran someday soon. All right, and for this month, I was trying to think of a licensee I want to spotlight, and in the mail yesterday, I actually got a book that I requested. I had it access to this for a while, but this month's spotlight is Slueth Squad Mystery Solving Teens. This is a Savage Worlds Adventurers Guild product. Got it right here. This is the softbound standard color print. It's not the premium color print. This is basically the only physical version currently available for this product. So when ordered this, basically you are playing. I probably can't see it very well, but you can probably see it on screen. You are playing as teenagers trying to solve mysteries, a la Scooby Doo and a few other shows from that era. So and there's a bunch of different ideas here for mascots. If you want to have like a little, your own Scooby Doo, dog. If you want to have a band, and that's part of your mystery solving teens collection. There's a lot of great details. The book here is actually, how many pages is this? It's actually quite long. This book is 215 pages long with different there's a section for bestiaries. There is a kind of section for how to run these kind of games, and keeping it still in that spirit of mystery solving teens, where there's not necessarily a whole lot of violence, but still getting a little bit level that spooky idea. There's a section around settings. There's a section on adventure generation. Especially event section on game mastering is because you're running this game a little bit differently than you would usually, because again, those shows tend to stay away from the more violent type stuff, all this kind of stuff, all those kind of things. Action gear, some character creation rules, etc. So yeah, quite a long book. A lot of great details in here for kind of creating your own Scooby-Doo-esque game. There is also a specific rule set that was done by the creator, and I should have actually mentioned the creator real quick. This is by Jacob. I'm gonna apologize right now. Jacob Os Osid Osijuski. I apologize, Jacob. I know I've heard your name pronounced properly at some point, but I can't remember how to pronounce it at this very moment. So, and this is just to be clear, this is not a an Ace licensee, like some of the other products we've mentioned today. This is a Adventurers Guild, so this is more like something like you or I, as a more regular people, could produce. I say this to people who actually, I think a lot of people on here are Ace licensees, so taking that with a grain of salt. But if you're watching this afterwards and you're just like a regular person, you can go ahead, you can create something like this, and you can sell it through the Savage Worlds Adventurers Guild, which is through Savage Worlds, through Pinnacle. You're not selling it on your own. You're only selling it like really through Pinnacle and through their drive-through RPG store. But you do get part of the profit generation that comes from selling it. You do get part of that, and you're supporting the game. The Adventures Guild has a lot less requirements than the for putting out a product than the Ace licensee does. So in order to kind of get the Ace licensee, which lets you put out your own stuff through with the Tacticals rule set, this has a little bit less requirements, and so more community driven. But as you can see here, you can see some really great stuff from Ace licensees. In fact, there's going to be a few Ace licensees that I'm looking forward to talking to because they have some really great products. Or sorry, some Savage Worlds of Swag event licensees, Savage Worlds Adventurers Guild licensees with some really great products, even though it's more community driven stuff. So this is great. Think of it kind of like well, yeah. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting my teeth into this, and probably at some point, hopefully, getting some reviews done. I know I've been promising reviews for a lot of stuff, and I haven't gone around to it yet. But there we go. Hampshire Doom says the requirements for an Ace licensee is to send Pinnacle a sample of their work you intend to release. It's all available on Savage Universe to see how to do it. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff out there already how to become an Ace licensee, and there's just some differences between the Ace licensees and the Adventurers Guild licensees. Swag creators are all done through Draft Through RPG, and you get paid 30% to have the content on that site. Pinnacle cut is 10%, so 30% goes to Draft Through RPG, 10% to Pinnacle, and then the other 60% is yours. So keep that in mind when purchasing that stuff. And that stuff's, like I said, there's a lot of great stuff is out there through the Savage Worlds Adventures Guild, through the Savage Worlds community. So look forward to other stuff in the future, but we'll be talking about Slueth Squad for the month of December. Moving on from that, today I want to have a little bit more of a kind of more just kind of casual conversation, kind of casual live stream. Not going to talk too seriously about anything. I didn't have a pressing topic I wanted to discuss, something that was like really, really feel like we needed to talk about. And so I thought what we would do is I would kind of try to continue to highlight some other cool products I've seen out there. These are products I have not got my hands on yet. And you guys are free to kind of let me know what you think of them. If you see products that are not on this list, you think, hey, Goose, you should definitely be wishing for this. You can put in the comments, say, hey, you should check out this product. That's really cool. Or whatever. We're gonna be focusing mostly on Savage Worlds stuff. There is gonna be some other things that are not Savage Worlds that I kind of want to get my hands on. and we can talk about that. And I'd love to hear your opinions on if you think these products are worthwhile at all. But let's go ahead and just kind of switch over to. I'm going to switch over to my drive-through RPG wish list, just so you can see what that's all about. There we go. I just have this sorted by A to Z, just so we can go like A to Z. There's some talk about a few of these products, why I'm interested in them, and uh, just yeah, kind of why I'm interested in them, and I'm happy to hear your thoughts. The first one is this Contagion. I stumbled upon this recently. As far as a product for Savage Worlds, I wasn't super familiar with it. I think based on what I've seen, it seems like it was originally made for maybe a previous version of Savage Worlds, but then got updated to Adventure Edition. This is from Aegis Studio, which I make sure I am following, and it is a from what I can tell, and please correct me if I am not understand this, um, but it seems like this is a little bit more of a like a modern day, but like war in the shadows type thing. Which anytime I think about like modern day hidden wars with magical beings and stuff, I tend to think either like the Supernatural TV show or I think Dresden Files. One of those two kind of things where it's like, hey, there's something else happening that's supernatural, but um, you don't really, not the everyday person has it. So more urban fantasy, I think is what technically would be the category. But um, yeah, so I just thought this looked really interesting. Looked like it'd be fun. I don't remember how I stumbled across it, but it looks fun. It's for Savage Worlds, and I like just kind of collecting Savage Worlds adventures and stuff. Uh, and this looks pretty fun. I don't have anything more really to say about that. Just it looks fun, and it looks well done. I do like seeing products that are going to be pretty well done. Um, Now because of the way I am, I probably will be getting. I'm probably going to try to get the hardcover premium color because I like to get the nice stuff. If I'm going to have a printed copy, I want to have the nicest printed version possible. So, but yeah, so this looks cool. That's why it's on my list. The next one is something I've seen a lot of people talk about this one um, in the Savage Worlds community as like a this really. I haven't seen it more recently, but I've seen it in the past. It is a Electrum bestseller. This is Darwin's World Nuclear Edition. This again, I think this was a game that was originally made for a previous version of Savage Worlds, but I think it is updated now to Adventure Edition. It is an astounding page count at 492 pages. This is a post-apocalyptic, like post-nuclear apocalypse game set for Savage Worlds. And there's been other games like it, but this one specifically is like has its own kind of unique thing. There's a lot of details I've seen for it. I have some archetypes here. Let me see. Pull up the archetypes. We got the scholar. I think people have used this as a way to kind of discuss like playing like Fallout. There's been a lot of Fallout fan conversions for Savage Worlds, but I think I've seen people specifically call it Darwin's World for like a good game that kind of has all the rules get that similar feel. Maybe not quite the level of sci-fi as uh, kind of like fantasy that there is in Fallout, but kind of giving that more like realistic kind of down to earth feel. There's a lot of support for it as well because there is other adventures. There are for Darwin's World. You got this one adventure over here on the side. There's a bunch of other products for it. So there's a lot of like really great support for the game. Oh, am I not following these guys? Follow. There we go. And so that's kind of the reason why like how I grab this because it seems like there's a lot of support for it to kind of like go along with. It's not just like having the core rules. There's a lot of other products that you can get to go along with it to have a fully fleshed out game. And again, though, if I was to get it, I'm gonna get the. Oh, where's the hardcover? Okay, it's just standard color. So no, it's hardcover with standard color, and because it's absolutely enormous, it's gonna. Yeah. The other thing is that because part of the reason there is so much other support for it is that there is a D20 based version as well of the game, um, and uh, I've heard bad things about other D20 based games have been converged to Savage Worlds basically being too generic of a conversion. But from what I've seen of and heard from people like on Reddit, on other Facebook, other kind of forums, Discord, is that this one is a good product to have for Savage Worlds. So that's probably the reason. That's the reason why it's on the list. Um, Going back, so that was Darwin's World. The next one is Dead End. This is a zombie post-apocalyptic uh, book, and this one has this is from Atomic Ninja Studio. So I show it back up. Atomic Ninja Studio, and they do a lot of Savage Worlds products. In fact, they have a whole bunch of one shots. I currently have a binder that I'm setting aside for only City Guard Chronicle stuff. And I've realized that I also now need a binder that's set aside specifically for Atomic Ninja Studio stuff because they have so many different one shots out there. Um, but this is not a one shot. This is a whole entire setting for a gritty survival horror setting. And there is a lot of other products for this. In fact, they almost have like seasons for Dead End. Pull up Atomic Ninja Studio here. Um, and you see that you have like this Dead End TLDC uh into the Living Dead campaign. This is like I don't know if this is like season 4 episode 7. That's not what I think if I see like 04, 4x07. There's just a lot of products out there for Dead End. I don't know much enough about it. I would love to hear from Top Ninja Studio and like have them on talk about Dead End because it's one of those things I see a lot about. I see a lot of products out there, but I haven't heard a lot about specifically, but it seems like there's a lot going on, and I'd love to hear more about it. But Atomic Ninja Studio also does make a lot of these other one shots you can see here, like Food Chain. These are things I would love to have as well. I still have them on my wish list because they don't offer print copies, and a lot of stuff put on my wish list is like print copies of games. So there's a little bit going on there. But yeah, there was actually I think the other day someone posted on Reddit they're looking for a particular one shot and I didn't recognize it at all. I was like, I don't recognize this one at all, but that sounds like something Atomic Ninja Studio would do. And sure enough, like it was like the first comment I put out on the post, and yeah, sure enough, it was from Atomic Ninja Studio. They also do this one game or it's one shot that I really want to do with my wife someday. She's been wanting to do it for a while. We just haven't got the players to do it. It's called was it Flight of the Living Dead, where it's like zombies not playing essentially. So hopefully we get to do that someday. Anyways, showing this stuff instead. This next product is not Ed Savage product. This is Dreadful Spooktober, one of my favorite games out there that's not Savage Worlds is Dread. And I think next year for October, I'll probably talk about Dread a little bit more because I love Dread. And people say, "Oh, we also about Savage Worlds." It's fine. I think people understand Dread. Dread is not a competitor to Savage Worlds in any means, in my opinion, because Dread is a one shot only system. And the system is basically there's no dice involved. In fact, there's no stats on your character sheet. Your character sheet, at best, if there's a character sheet, is a questionnaire about your character. And a lot of times they're like very leading questions. It's like, hey, you're the one question I think it was like on your questionnaire was like, your sister died when you were young. Why do you feel guilty about that? It's like, oh, okay. So you like, implied something about your character, but then it also gives you room to say, okay, here's why, here's write some stuff into it, like why. So a lot of cool like questionnaires like that for your different characters, and those are not the same across all the characters. Each character gets their own. The way the game works is that whenever you want to do something that the GM feels like, if you say it would usually be a role, is if you say you want to do something, the GM says, okay, you just do it, or they feel like that you should, they'll tell you how many blocks from a Jenga tower you need to pull in order to successfully do that task. So you say, okay, I'm going to jump over the ravine. Okay, that's going to be that's going to be two pulls. So you have to pull two Jenga blocks out to succeed. If you fail, your character dies. Now, if your character dies doing something that they really shouldn't be able to die from, there's a system for that. The reason this product is on here is that there's not a lot of Dread modules that I can find, and this is like a bundle of them that I would like to get, just so I can have like a backlog of Dread modules. So eventually, I'll probably get this. Next time I need to run a Dread game, I'll probably grab this up because I would like to have more games of more Dread scenarios, I guess I'll call them, that I'd like to have in hand to kind of run these. So This is why the Dreadful Spooktober bundle is on here. It's just because I would like to have more Dread modules to run. I've run 2 so far, and a friend of mine has run another one, and they're just a lot of fun. I will say, if you're running this as a game master, you're gonna feel like not a lot is happening, because you don't feel that sense of dread nearly as much as the players do. The idea for dread is that, like, the Jenga tower, because that is your character's life right there. It's a one shot, and if it falls over, your character's dead. That invokes a lot of dread in players. I've not, unfortunately, not been able to be a player in a dread game to really like feel that. And as a GM, you're gonna feel like things are not really moving and it's not a lot happening because people are taking a long time to pull it, and that's fine. Know that your players are having an absolute blast because there's a lot of tense situations going on, that's kind of like getting players really focused. And yeah, there's not going to be a lot of stuff that actually happens in the game. If you describe what happens in your 4 hour session of Dread, it's going to sound like you didn't do a lot, and that's fine. Anyways, that's why this is on here. Let's go back to this listing here. This product is a product that's been on my wish list for a little bit. I don't know, if I'm honest, I don't know anything about it. And the ratings is like 1 2-star rating and 2 5-star ratings, so it's not like a lot I know about it. Um, and I haven't heard anything about this. I think I just kind of stumbled upon it. And I was like, oh look, Savage Worlds book. Let me put this on my wish list, because it has physical copy and it's an adventure edition. Unfortunately, though, I don't know enough about it, and I can't actually. I'm not recommending that anyone go buy it unless you actually hear like some sort of positive review. Um, because I haven't heard anything about it, and because the reviews have me a little bit concerned, I have not purchased it. If anyone has anything good to say about it, I would love to hear that. I don't know anything really about this. Get a confident like say, yeah, I'm gonna get this. That's why I haven't gotten it yet. Is because there's other things I know I want to get that are on this list that I have just purchased those instead. So yeah, if you know anything about this game, and have like any recommendations for it, I would love to hear it. I just don't have anything that I personally can say about it, to say, yeah, you should get this game or not. Let's see here. Oh, sorry, I did not switch tabs. There we go. That's the game. Yeah, so that's this is the game Equinox: The Last Moon. I'll say the art looks really cool, and I like this. I like the fake book like look. Be better if it was like actually textured, but it's not going to be because it's just printed from a draft RPG. But there's other products for it. They have the Equinox: The Last Moon and the world map, and then this the Saturn. Not sure what that's about. So there's some other stuff for it. I just don't know anything. I don't know enough about this to give a recommendation. Moving on. By the way, guys, I'd love to hear what anything that you're looking for that you think should be on this list from Savage Worlds or anybody else. Please do let me know. I'd love to hear kind of the things that you guys think should be on this list. I do have quite a few things over here already that I also need to get through. I need to stop bumping into this mic stand. But yeah. Let's see here. So that's that. Gods and Masters. This was, I believe, recommended to me um, by Peter Saloom, who I have a ongoing podcast with called TPK 101, where we talk about encounter design. I'm currently working on publishing one, hopefully this week. That is about ambushes, so look forward to that. That's coming this week. I'm hoping I can get that released Thursday. So yeah, look forward to that. But this was recommended to me by him. This is not for Adventure Edition, from what I can tell. I think this is made for Deluxe/Deluxe Explorers Edition. But he mentioned it as a good fun game. Don't know much about it, but it does looks nice enough. Looks cool. And he said he had a good time playing in it. And that's all that really matters, is that people had fun playing. All right, going back over here. Hellfrost, I have seen a lot of people mention Hellfrost as like, oh, you should check out this product because it's you know it's really well done. Um, and I had a hard time figuring out exactly like which books you need for running it because there's this one's called the Player's Guide, which usually there's a Player's Guide. There's like a dungeon guide or like a core rule book in addition to the Player's Guide. You see here there is a bestiary. Sorry about that. It's got a tier. We got a hero and villains compendium. There is encounter books, current cane rolls, creature guides, a lot of products. Like there's a big product line for Hellfrost, but I just don't know. I haven't. I don't. I think this is the book you'd buy, and I think this is not for Adventure Edition. I believe this is for a previous version as well. The reason I believe that is based on the logo for the licensee. The license logo is the older style logo from before Suede, so I think that's what's going on there. But nonetheless, I find that things, yeah, you see here last updated July 5th, 2009. So this hasn't been updated since before I started playing tabletop role playing games. So yeah, keep that in mind. This does have a lot of ratings because it's been around for quite a while, and it's got a good amount of 5 stars and 4 stars. Only like one like 3 star. Um, Norse campaign, think Conan and Winter and Epic Tales. So it should be easy enough to convert to. I find that almost any version of Savage Worlds is easy to convert to Suede because Savage Worlds for the most part is the exact same game. There might be a few things you have to change around, and I haven't seen, unfortunately, any sort of like Suede conversion. I don't think there's a Suede conversion. Hellfrost Suede. No. Okay. So you may have to like do some adaptation yourselves, but I wouldn't be that worried about it. And don't be worried about keeping things like balanced because it's not going to be perfectly balanced. So there's that. Hamster Doom says Hellfrost looks really good. Yes, I think I watched them on an interview with JM. I hope so. Uh, yeah, this week's Savage Universe stream is about a Savage Pathfinder actual play. So if you're interested in some actual plays in Savage Worlds, check out that stream. Talk about as they talk about that actual play. Speaking of which, if you guys are losing track of time, the Savage Rifts Europa actual play does start in 3 minutes. If you or you can stay and hang out with me. That's up to you. But yeah, that is Hellfrost. So Hellfrost, and then this one I don't know. Again, this is another product I don't know much about. I apologize that there's a lot of those. Um, this came up once. I thought, oh, this looks kind of interesting. Check one thing here. Okay. This looks interesting. I don't know anything about it. I think I just kind of like ran across it by accident once. Um, oh, you can get it in a bundle. What's the other titles? What's the title? It's okay. The character sheet, the companion, the handbook, and the jumpstart. Cool. Oh, and there's a jumpstart, which is great. So if your jumpstarts are great because you can like learn what the game's like and then decide if you want to play it or not. This it seems to be basically just like Greek mythos type stuff, Olympian deities, yeah, main deities, heavenly contest. So things like Greek style campaign. You can be a demigod. That's cool. Divine edges. That's neat. Uh, I see your comment, hamster. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Just I'll explain it in a minute. But no, this looks fun. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and go back here. Oh, you know, I'm really bad at and have not been keeping up with keeping here. This is the new product. Here we go. Mythos. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get back over to uh, this one. So this is another one from Aegis Studios. It's the same people who did the Contagion. I think that's how I found Contagion. Was I was looking at Aegis Studios' other products and found, but the first product that I first heard about was Odysseys and Overlords. Um, I don't know why I did not do the Kickstarter. I think there's a part of me that was a little unsure looking at the product, how I felt about the overall kind of design of the game. I don't. I put it on my wish list because I think, but it's not like high on my desired list. Well, but I think it's. But I think some people will find it kind of more a little more interesting to them. Um, it's got this like kind of like old. It feels to me, based on what I'm reading about it and the way it's designed makes me think of like um old like Conan books and such. I think that's the kind of design they're going for. There's a lot of support for it though from Aegis because they do have a lot of other adventures. You can see over here on the side, other adventures for it, based on this kind of core rulebook here. And the core rulebook is only 82 pages. The only thing to note though is that it does require both the core rulebook for Savage Worlds and the Advanced Companion. I know a lot of products try to stick to only requiring the core rulebook. This one does require both, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's see here. All right, so Sprawl Runners. This was a question from why do I not have Sprawl Runners yet? This is probably one of the best-selling Savage Worlds Adventure Guild products out there. It won because it's pretty much the go-to product for for running any sort of cyberpunk game. So if you want to run like Shadowrun, you're probably gonna pick up Sprawl Runners. If you're gonna run any sort of cyberpunk game, you're probably gonna pick up Sprawl Runners. Why have I not gotten it yet? Truth be told, I think part of the reason is that I see the 71 page count, and knowing me, I'm like, oh, there's a hardcover premium color copy of this. Okay, and I've been trying to decide, is it worth getting it in hardcover premium color when it's only 71 pages? Is that worth it? Or should I just get the soft cover? And basically, I have this analysis paralysis of like, oh, should I get the soft cover version or should I get the hardcover version? Which should I get? Which should I get? And that's why I haven't picked it up yet. Having seen what these smaller softcover books look like now, um, and like getting a better, and actually like really thinking more about like how much that would be. So like this book here is 51 pages. So I gotta think, okay, this is gonna be like a little bit bigger than this, a little bit like 10 more pages there. Do I want to get a physical copy of the hardback copy of the book? I think the answer is yes. So I like hardback cover. So that will probably be on my next. When I make another big order of Draft RPG stuff, I'll probably grab this because it's like I said, it's one of the things that people have been eh, talking a lot about. This will probably be a licensee spotlight or a licensee spotlight at some point because it's just a popular, more well known product. Why would you say that? Hamster Doom says, I mean, I get it. There are also rumors of Sprawl Runners 2 coming out sometime whenever it's finished. Sprawl Runners 2, or are you talking about are you talking about Salt and Chrome? So I think that's also coming out. Or is that what it's called? Salt and Chrome? I think it's what's called. Salt. Chrome. Oh, I can spell that. Type that'd be great. Salt and Chrome. Yeah, Salt and Chrome Cyber Preview Edition. Driven by Sprawl Runners. Yep. Also, Savage Worlds product. This is just like the preview edition, and I'm looking forward to getting the full product for them as well. It's also fun the people who make City Guard Chronicles, which I love. So I will, you know, don't I own that? I do own this. Okay, yeah. It's like I thought I bought this. Um, so yeah, I just need to buy it when it comes to Sprawl Runners 2 or Sprawl Runners. I just need to get Sprawl Runners. Just haven't yet. I didn't can't decide, but I think I've decided now. Although if this is Sprawl Runners 2, do I just want to wait for that? More analysis paralysis. All right, we're going to go ahead and share this tab here. All right, so going back, so the other one, Stingers and Spores. This one is one I'm actually super kind of excited about. I don't know how I came across it. I think at first, when I first saw it, I was hesitant. I was like, eh. And then the more I looked at it, and I think someone mentioned it as a product at some other point, maybe it was like on the stream, someone talked about it as a good product or something like that. And I was reading more through it and kind of watched the video, the trailer here. Trailers are really helpful. And I was reading through it. I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty cool. Um, preview. Here we go. Oh, that's just the. I don't care about that. Okay. So yeah, I think this actually looks pretty cool. The more I read through it, I was like, oh, I actually do want to get this. Like, really want to get this. It's playing as bug people. Sounds like a lot of fun. One of my brother's favorite game is one of my brother-in-law's favorite games is Bug Fables, which is like an indie RPG, I think is what it is, where you play as bugs, and it's got this like cartoon draw. And he based one of his most recent his first Savage Pathfinder character on a character from Bug Fables, and I think playing this would actually be a lot of fun, kind of like playing this like mysterious insect land, and just yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it looks great. Hipster Doom says also the Spot Runners guy wrote an adventure for Stingers and Spores. I believe you're right. I just remember what you think it's the Hive Runner. Not seeing that one, but yeah. So that's on my list. And I think this is also one of those books that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get this. I'm just gonna have to like actually do it. Promise. Again, I want the hardcover. I want the hardcover premium color, which means a little chunk of change, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and stop the share. We're gonna go ahead and switch back here. Coming up to this is kind of going along with Stingers and Spores. It's Stingers and Spores, Pirates of the Still Sea. So now you're imagining, okay, you got bug characters, and now they're pirates. Unfortunately, this book does not have a print option, but it's also only 9 pages, so you know probably doesn't need probably doesn't need to have a print option. There is a Stingers and Spores jumpstart. So if you want the Leaping Jaws jumpstart, so if you're interested in this but don't want to like pay for the full book yet, you can just get the jumpstart. And I highly recommend getting jumpstarts to like especially if you're on the fence about something, get the jumpstart, try it out. Then if you really like it, get the full book, right? And you play like a bigger campaign for it. Otherwise, you get a one shot. You try out the one shot, and you can decide if you want to keep going with that or not. So yeah, look for jump starts. Next on this list, this is an older product. Um, I asked the Reddit community a long time ago what they thought, like what kind of products they thought were like really good and that for Savage Worlds, like adventure settings and stuff that they really enjoyed. And they really, and I was looking specifically for like print option books on TTRPG for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. You'll notice that most things I looked at have been for Adventure Edition. But this got some recommendations. This is Sundered Skies, which is like a lot of things, a post-apocalyptic, um, dealing with some sort of like fantasy, sky pirates, and but there's a lot more things going on in the sky in this game. So you have Sundered Skies. There's like airships and all that kind of stuff. Um, and there's a lot of support for it. You got this companion. You've got the player's book. You have the adventure codex. This was a really well done product, back in 2008 for Savage Worlds. And the only reason that it's not higher on my list is because I I'm trying to been focusing a lot more on more recent stuff with that's been made for Adventure Edition. One of the things I'm really looking forward to, and it would be on my wish list, except for it's not currently available on Drive RPG, and that is the accursed game in the accursed game for Savage Worlds, where you play as vampires and zombies and stuff, or in ghouls, like you are the monsters. Um, for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, they're working on the Adventure Edition update. I'm super excited for that. And that's the reason why I kind of held off on getting a physical copy of the original version. So looking forward to seeing some more updated versions of these games for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. Because I think a lot of the games that are like super old, especially like Sundered Skies, it's from 2008. A lot of people who have come into the game more recently don't know about these games existing, and all these different things existing because they haven't been updated more recently. No one's playing them now. Everyone that played them back in 2008. We'll say as late as 2012 or whatever, and now they are just kind of here on RPG without any knowledge of them. So I'd love to see like some of these publishers go through, revamp them, re-release them for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition and kind of get some hype around their different settings and stuff, and getting more of these products out to the world. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Um, Next up is Task Force Raven. This game came up. I don't remember how I found this one, and I don't know what's wrong with it. If anybody can like knows what's going on with this, there's some sort of like every time I come to look at this game, there is some sort of like weird thing going on here. But basically, you play as special operatives that you're against occult targets. This the description of the game makes me think like Delta Green, where you're playing as like these people who are like part of the special forces operations, where you're fighting against the occult as like a military operation. Um, Now in Delta Green, they're doing more with Cthulhu esque monsters. This one seems to be more about more typical normal cryptids, not necessarily Cthulhu monsters and stuff. Yeah, it's got vampires in Iraq, giants in Afghanistan, Jinn in Yemen, and Mercury. Um, so that seems pretty cool. Um, Hamster Doom says it makes me think Titan Effect, which is also for Savage Worlds, which is the next game on my list. That's not the next game. It's close soon. The other game here is so what's going on. Oh, the next one is the Drowned War. This is a Savage Worlds likes a post-apocalyptic. I think tabletop role-playing games in general like post-apocalyptic. I shouldn't just say Savage Worlds. I think games in general like post-apocalyptic. The Drowned War is a flooded post-apocalyptic. So the whole thing like Waterworld, where the whole world is now flooded, and you're just trying to survive. There's are some arcane backgrounds. But it takes place in our world, but a drowned version of our world. Um, it just seems like kind of cool. You got like these floating mega cities. There's a lot of fighting, that kind of stuff. This came out this year and just seemed like a looks. There's also an element where I just think the art style appeals to me. The way it looks just looks really nice. So that is kind of you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm judging by the book by its cover. It looks fun. Um, so yeah, so I'm think it's cool. Um, and so therefore it's on my list. Again, I don't know much else about it, except for that. Man, I keep doing the wrong one. There we go. I don't know much else about it other than like it's what I've said. Flooded post-apocalyptic world, drowned war, cool cover. Just seems kind of fun. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to this tab here, and we're gonna do Titan Effect. Oh, sorry. So yeah, Hamster Doom said that Task Force Raven makes him think of Titan Effect. Titan Effect is a really big game. Or I shouldn't say it's not necessarily big. That's not the wrong word to use. It is a game I do hear a lot about. It is a gold bestseller. Um, it is a tactical espionage science fiction RPG. And you see here, you can play as like Rakshasa or like some sort of cat person or whatever. And this first this image kind of gives me like a cyberpunk feel. Um, so Titan Effect is a genre bending universe mixing biopunk, spy thriller, and superheroes. Players are plunged in a world brimming with conspiracies, secret organizations, dangerous bioengineered creatures, and psychic phenomena. This does feel a little bit different to me than Task Force Raven, which feels a little more like you're dealing with like as normal people, whereas this one is way more superpowered. One thing to note here is that it does require the superpowers companion in addition to the Adventure Edition core rulebook. So now you need 2 books in addition to this book, so 3 books, to kind of run a game. But I've heard some good things about Time Effect, and it looks like it's a well done, well put together product. They even have Foundry VTT stuff, some like other maps. There's a lot of support over here on the right hand side. You can see like different games and stuff. And based on this logo here, I'm guessing that this was a uh and based on the fact that I think this is declassified edition, this was a I think this Titan Effect was a game for Savage Worlds like Deluxe Edition originally, and then they've updated it for Adventure Edition. Um, yeah. So I'm guessing there's been some things have changed. Hamster Doom says that they played without the Superpowers companion before it came out. Was that the declassified edition or was that some other edition? Let me know. Curious. So yeah, cool. So that's the declassified edition. Let's go ahead and switch over. The last one I have on my list on Drive Through RPG. There's another list I'm going to look at briefly. Um, is Wise Guys, and you'll see that I actually own Wise Guys already. I just don't own the premium color hardback version. I actually backed this on Kickstarter back when it first came out, which is why I have all these products already. And I think this time I just wasn't like super invested into getting like physical copies of stuff. And this is essentially a like it's a heist game. Think like um personally, I think a little bit of original Ocean's 11 because it does take place in a like I can't remember what era, but like an older era, like the 60s or 70s, something like that. With more organized crime, and you play a part of a crew who's trying to, evade the law, do some robbing. You're gonna do some heisting. You're gonna be get drug cartels, mafias, all that kind of stuff. So cool. We're playing like more not heroes, just like protagonists. So I think it's a really interesting game. I just haven't gotten a chance to play it. I do have the products for it. I just have to like the PDFs and stuff. I just don't have a physical version, and now I want physical versions because I want physical versions of everything. Um, Hamster Doom says I finally got a chance to play Wise Guys. I didn't think I'd like playing mobster type guys because I'm more of a fan of the hero story. I was wrong. It was brilliant. Perfect. Love hearing some. I think it's nice when like you can play a bad guy and everyone's playing a bad guy. It doesn't mean that you're playing like I'm evil. You're saying, look, it's more. I think like in this, it's more realistic, right? You're saying, okay, we're playing as mobsters and stuff. Like, yes, have we have real life problems that we have to deal with, and this are we want the money, we want the fame, we want the fortune, and you're not necessarily playing someone who's evil. You're just playing someone who's got other agendas. Maybe they are evil. I shouldn't say that. You basically are evil, but you're not just like I'm an evil witch type deal like in a fantasy game. Like this is more. There's more going on to it than that. It's more relatable and more I think able to actually get into it. Mr. Doom says it's like the Wreck It Ralph line. We are bad guys, but we're not bad guys. Uh, thanks, Satan. Wreck It Ralph is a great movie, by the way. Great two movies. They're both good. So yeah, so that's all the things on this list. But I did want to kind of go over some other stuff. Most of that was Savage Worlds related. There's actually quite a few things that are not Savage Worlds that I do actually really want to get my hands on. They're just not sold through TTRPG, which is why they're not on that list. So I'm going to switch over to this tab instead. Um, and you're going to get a few things here already just from seeing here. But the first thing, this is actually a Kickstarter that finished recently. This is the Broken Empires RPG, which is a sim light Demon Hunter skills based TTRPG. And usually I would not be interested in this at all. But it's being done by, I can't remember his name right now, the guy who did Me, Myself, and Die, which is a solo play. Like I think I would say probably the largest solo play channel out there. And his first solo play adventure he did, he's a voice actor. He does solo play voice acting stuff. The first one he did, he used Savage Worlds Deluxe Edition for his rule set. And so a lot of Savage Worlds people have a lot of appreciation for him because he's brought a lot of people into Savage Worlds specifically through his first campaign. Trevor Duvall, thank you. Yeah, Trevor Duvall. And he's doing this game, and so I've just because it's kind of targeted a little more towards that kind of story driven game. I'm been interested in it, and there's a lot of people who I respect who've said a lot of good things about it. Professor DM, Kelsey Dion, who wrote Shadow Dark, and just him himself being like a really cool guy. So I've been interested in this, but it seems like it might be a little more complicated than I'm interested in looking at. But I'm most of the time when it comes to these non Savage Worlds games, the reason I'm interested in looking at them is more to see how they do certain mechanics and how they try to get a certain feeling across. Um, we talk about Savage Worlds as a universal game, and I mentioned this in an RPG subreddit the other day, and it's that Savage Worlds can do anything. It's a universal system, but it does have a certain kind of feeling it is going for. It is going for more of a pulp feel, and that's kind of what we talk about. It's like a fast, furious, fun game that's going for more of that heroic pulp action feeling, versus like GURPS, which I think I would say GURPS, based on my limited knowledge of GURPS, has a very different feeling it's trying to get across. I have not played a GURPS game, so I can't really give a good saying what that feeling is. But nevertheless, I do feel like it's got a different. It based on my knowledge, it feels like it has a different feeling than Savage Worlds, for example. There's a few other interesting games that you're gonna be like, what? Why is this here? I've had a recent interest, I'll say, in some more. I'm gonna call it old school OSR type games. Just realized I just stopped my screen share. I'm gonna get that back real quick. Screen. There we go. Chrome tab. There we go. The first one is Crown Skull. This is from. I learned about this through the Professor DM, as a interesting game where like when you advance, you have to choose like crown or skull. And I think one of the things that happens in this game is that the GM doesn't roll attacking for its monsters, and you play when a monster attacks, players have to roll to basically defend against it, and so the GM doesn't have to do any rolling. And I kind of like that idea in concept, and I kind of want to see how it's done, so that and trying to see like how how that works in some other elements and how like certain things can be adapted for that. Um, so I'm curious about this one. Because of that particular mechanic, and also this book looks sweet. The other thing about OSR games is that I swear their cover designs look amazing. Just like this, like nice, like simple book style. Like, oh, this looks so cool. Um, is how much I actually appreciate these kind of art book styles over like heavily graphic art. But I think the graphic art gets people generally usually more interested. It's just this is more of a niche product. More people, only people who are going to learn about this, people who are really in the know about TTRPGs, essentially. Um, Along with that, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna skip a few here. Along with Crown Skull, there's a few other products in that kind of vein that I've been interested in. I've been playing some Cairn with a friend of mine who is into Cairn. I just got so here's Cairn. This is a like very simple, free. You can get this for free. TTRPG, very simple, very few mechanics. Here's my. I played this game with with him, my friend from church, and his sons who are 8 and 4, and my sons who are 5 and 4, and it's pretty simple for them to kind of get. In fact, I actually even got in print the new Cairn second edition books. Um, and the game just seems a little more simple, a little more straightforward. And with that, though, I've been interested in looking into some other similar games and see what they're like. And as far as mechanics go, Knave is a game that they actually mention in Cairn as like a hey, this is inspired by some level of like what's offered in Knave. What was it here? Ben Milton for Knave is like one of the people that he's thanked in Cairn. So uh yeah, so I think that's an interesting game I'd like to pick up. Another similar vein, this one is more along like the D&D 5e route, but it's a little bit different, right? And that is Shadow Dark. Shadow Dark won like 4 Ennies, one 3 Castle Awards and 4 gold Ennies for Part of the Year, Best Game, Best Rules, and Best Layout Design. This book looks amazing. Look at it. That looks so cool. But it's gotten a lot of awards, got a lot of talk. A lot of people love it. And again, this is not going to replace Savage Worlds for me in the slightest, but it's one of those games that I feel like I need to get and read through because it's such a it's really popular. Mike Shea talks about it a lot on his Sly Flourish talk show, uh, and because he's running like a weekly game in it, and it's just something I feel like I need to get my hands on and read through and just kind of see what the rules are like. Um, so I feel like I need to look through that. Hamster Doom says the Shadow Arc is so good though, and they just released a free solo play guide in Oracle. That's super interesting. I've been trying to get into solo play. I feel like I'm, despite watching other people do solo plays, I feel like I'm just not getting it. Um, and I need to keep trying and try to get my head wrapped around in it to fully understand how to grasp it. Um, so one of the things is I've been hesitant to actually play solo plays because I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, but it seems like I really just need to start doing it to really fully understand. So hopefully we can get around to that, and I can get over those hurdles when it comes to solo play. So yeah, so I would like to get that. Um, along that same line, I've heard a lot of people talk about this game. I'm not. This one's like kind of lower on my wish list. This is Morkborg. Um, it's a pitch black apocalyptic fantasy RPG about lost souls and fools seeking redemption. Really interesting art style. Like a lot of yellow, which will definitely get your attention. Um, I can't remember. There's something specific about this game that I wanted to take a look at, but I can't remember. I can't remember like what about this game made me want to like take a look at it. But it's definitely so. But with that, it's definitely lower my wish list. I think I just added it because everyone's talking about it. But yeah. All right, let's do this little skipping around. This game, a lot of people probably know about from this community. This is Jackal's Bronze Age fantasy role playing, and you might recognize this author, John Matthew DeFoggy, and that is JM is the host of the Savage Universe stream. This is a game that he came out with in 2021 through Osprey Press or Osprey Games. And one of the things that JM and I have uh, both have appreciation for is that we both went to. I don't remember if he went to seminary. I went to seminary. I have my master's in divinity, and he has his. I want to say his master's in theology is what he has. I'm not positive. I can't remember, but we both have at least really high appreciation for the Bronze Age and like and all those that era. So for what I would say call the ancient Near East, essentially, and all the languages and culture from around then, and kind of like also they kind of developed around that time. I actually picked up. Where is it? I can't find it right now. Wait, there it is. I actually picked up this the Jackal. What's it called? The Fall of the Children of Bronze campaign guide. Because I saw this at a bookstore and I was like, oh wow, look, it's Jackals. So I've been wanting to get my hands on this for. I got my hands on this. And I was like, okay. I was reading through it, and it's actually like it looks really well done. Like I'm actually quite impressed with how well this came out, and so I really want to get my hands on the core rulebook. But on top of that, JM did mention on his live stream, not on the Savage Universe, but he has a separate channel called how was it called? Behind the Screen, I think that's what it's called. He talks more like gaming and philosophy. And he did mention that he is looking into, I don't think he promised anything, but he's looking into doing a Jackals conversion. Thank you, Hamster Doom. Yeah, Iconic Productions behind the screen. Yeah, so that is something that he's looking into. Is looking into doing a Savage Worlds conversion of Jackals that would still be published by Osprey, I believe is what the idea was. Um, yeah, I don't. Cause I know he's got some like other people who worked on the project that were like the illustrators, but I think he's the only author, I believe. But yeah, but because of my personal fascination with the uh, ancient Near East and all the fun stuff that happened in a lot of those stories, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, in uh, some other like other Sumerian myths and Ugaritic myths, and I'm trying to remember. There's some other stories I'm trying to remember. I did a lot of studies on my like personally on the ancient Near East. Like if I went back to school, I would go get my theological masters, which is different than a master's in theology, specifically in ancient Near Eastern languages and literature. So yeah, that's part of my fascination with this, and like I've done a lot of research about like the mythology of monsters and like dragons from that era and sea monsters and giants and um, demons and magic and stuff from that time period. Because a lot of stuff seems to come now like that era and that area, I should say. So yeah, that's my own personal like little thing there. The other, I think that this is gonna be the last non. I'm gonna end on Savage Worlds product, but this is gonna be the last non Savage Worlds product that I'm really hoping to get my hands on. And this is Sly Flourish's Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master. This is from Mike Shea. I listen to his podcast quite a bit, and in fact, it was recently named the #1 tabletop role playing game podcast. It's a great podcast where he talks about the kind of community, kind of like this idea, and it just gave a lot of good advice. And this is a product that he released to help play GMs understand that they do not need to spend weeks on weeks, hours and hours prepping for uh sorry, they don't need to spend hours and hours prepping for um their games. In fact, he says like you basically just need to, like for a 4 hour game, should only need to spend like half an hour. And I think this is a really good way to like kind of teaching GMs to like only think about the important stuff, focus on the important stuff, and being able to kind of improv the rest and like focus on like not spending too much time worrying about every single piece of dialogue. He even goes over. I know this because I have the PDF version of this book. I just don't have a physical copy. I just would like to get a physical copy of it because I prefer having physical copies. Um, Part of that is because I don't think I have a really good like a reader, like PDF reader or anything to kind of read my books on. But I would also just like having physical books. There's this thing about having a physical book I really appreciate. Hamster says, "Oh no, that was on sale for like 20% off the hardcover from his site. Oh no, man, I missed like I think I actually knew that. I think I heard about it from on his podcast. I just didn't have the funds at the time preparing for Christmas, so it's all good. It is a really good book. It's I think it won an Emmy in 2019. Um, it's just a really good product. So I'm hoping I can get this eventually. This will be something I will probably buy myself at some point. Maybe if I get any like Amazon gift cards, I'll buy myself this. All right, the last product I'm going to mention is I don't even know if this page is going to open because I noticed that wasn't working last time I was trying to open it up. I don't know if something's wrong with Pinnacle site or anything, but I can't access the Necessary Evil box set from Savage Worlds. I tried going to their website to kind of like buy it or to, like to pull up the product. I couldn't for some reason. Let's see. Let me see if I can access it. Necessary Evil. Yeah, here's the whole product listing. No. Box set. Here we go. So this is all three Necessary Evil campaigns, all put together for Necessary Evil. Necessary Evil is a super villains campaign where you play as villains who are basically trying to save the world, but they're villains, not heroes. They're trying to. This for other purposes. Um, and I haven't gotten this yet because I was I don't think I was able to at the time. I didn't have the money on my hand to do so. And then there's just a lot of there's just a lot of cool stuff here. I would like to. I haven't been super interested in playing in a supers game, but I think if I did, I would want to play a evil supers game. So that's what this is. Again, I don't know what's going on with the website where I can't like open these links. It's just like kind of stalls out. So I don't know if something's wrong over at Pinnacle. Of course, now it works. There we go. Okay, there. Print. And you get a lot of products for $170. So yeah. So this is actually the only thing I'm like really wanting from Pinnacle themselves right now, just because I have most other products that I'm interested in. I don't have any like Savage Rift stuff for Suede. I'm just not currently interested in Rifts, and I'm starting my way to catching up on Deadland stuff. So, and I have Holler, I have Savage Pathfinder. I do need to get the ETU, sorry, the Pine Box Middle School one. I need to get that one. I have all the companions, so I'll go there. But yeah, so yeah. Let's see here. Looking over some comments here. Have I tried running desk bunnies for my kids? I don't. I have not. I think I did. I did think. I want to say you mentioned it before, and I apologize. I haven't looked that up yet. Desk bunnies. Desk bunnies. Here's a preview. Sorry, I'm just trying to find like the. There's a lot of stuff here. Preview. Desk bunnies. Let's on the couch. Here we go. This is Sage World, so I really should look into this. Let me go ahead and add this to my wish list. Let me go ahead and share the screen though, so you can all see what I'm looking at. Share screen. Display. There we go. Let me go ahead and do this. Nope, nope. I want the hardcover premium color book. Add to wish list. No, I have not gotten this yet. Doghouse Rules does a few other things that I'm looking forward to. I'm waiting for the Sidewinder. I think it does. Yeah, yeah. Doghouse is doing. I believe Doghouse is also doing Sidewinder. But this does look fun. I've not. I've been hesitant to play any sort of Savage Worlds games with my kids at age 4 and 5, just because I feel like they they can't read, and so I try to use very simple systems right now. One of the things that's nice about Karen is that there's like not a whole lot, and for the most part, we can just tell them to do something, and then they roll a number, and if they have under whatever the number is, then you get under, it works for them. And then there's a lot more like narrative option, a lot less rules, like very rules light. If you look at the spells, like there's 100 spells in this Karen game, in this book here, and they're all very simple. They're like one sentence spells. Like this one is animate object. An object obeys your commands as best it can, and that's the only description of that spell. And so it makes it very easy for when we're playing with kids to just like, look, just tell us what you want to do, and then there's gonna be like one rule, and it makes it so that there is like a little bit of mechanical structure to it, but also not so much mechanical structure that they don't have to. They can just tell us what they want to do, and they go, yeah, sure, let's do that. Whereas this, I think, might be something I might want to wait for until they have a better understanding of gaming and better understanding of and being able to read. I think being able to read is gonna be an important thing. But I will add this to my wish list for sure. It's already added. Cool. All right, looking at the chat here. No, sorry. Where did my chat go? Let's see here. Henshin says, I'm currently running SR Evil Breakout on my Tuesday night game. You'll come join, but it would be a very late night for you. Yeah, probably. I'm already in 2 games a week. When I run a game on Thursdays and I'm in a game on Mondays. And yeah. So Doghouse Rules also does Trailer Park Shark Attack, which is a very popular game. I had at one point printed out everything for it, and then I think it got lost or something. Didn't get it into a binder quick enough before I think the papers went all over and eventually got thrown away. So I'll have to print that out again some other time. Cool. No, but I appreciate the offer, Hamster Do. Really do. I would like to start. I would like to get into some other games just to experience some other games, and preferably some like shorter campaigns. Just like because there's just so much out there that I would like to experience. and I can only get through so much. That's probably the reason why I'm trying to do more solo play. Is that I feel like that might be the only way I'm gonna be able to get through a lot of Savage Worlds gaming. Is just by doing it on my own time. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, with that, this has been a longer stream than usual. I appreciate you guys hanging out, especially thanks to Hamster of Doom for all of the comments and looking at everything. And hello to everyone else. I did see Peter jumped in. Hey, Peter. Uh, if you are watching this on a replay, do let me know again down in the comments what are some things that you're hoping to get in uh, your stockings, your under the tree, or whatever this holiday season as far as gaming goes. What are some things that you're looking forward to or hoping you can get right hands on? It doesn't have to be Savage World stuff. It could be. It doesn't have to be a setting or anything. It could be dice. I'm not a dice goblin, so I don't have any dice on my list. I just I do have a friend who's going to be making me some like resin dice for Christmas. I'm looking forward to that a lot. But yes, let me know what you think, what things you're looking forward to getting, and we'll see you all next week here on the channel. Cheers.